It's the Green Rush Nation podcast. I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hit so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on the 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave. It's the Green Rush Nation podcast.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy B-Gunz here on the Green Rush Nation podcast. Today, we're in a legendary location with two legends of the industry. We're sitting here at Maywood Cookies with Edwin and Tuna. We appreciate you guys for having us out.
What's up? Good to be here.
Hey, so I heard that this was the first location of Cookies. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay.
This is the first retail location of Cookies where Cookies was born as a retail.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm from New York, and I even heard of Cookies before moving out here because you guys had come to New York. I think it was the first store in New York as well.
Yep.
So that was interesting to see, and now I'm sitting here at the first one ever, so thank you for having me out. But here on the Green Rush Nation podcast, we don't want to just know about the business. We also want to know about who you guys are as people. So where are you guys from? You can go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. Born and raised in Iran. I was 13 years old when I came to America with dreams of being an airline pilot ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
So pursued that career, went to college. Got
Just a little bit closer.
Got
Sorry.
my licenses and all my airline transport pilot license. And I got diagnosed with hepatitis leukemia.
Oh,
when I
wow.
was 28 years old. Yes, that was 23 years ago.
Jeez,
So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my daughter had just been born, and it was just the chaos. So as I was going through my chemo, my oncologist said, "Hey, there's this thing called cannabis, and you can use it." So, born and raised a Christian, never done any drugs, never smoked weed, never smoked cigarettes.
Was there a stigma around it?
There absolutely was,
Definitely.
especially back in the days.
Okay.
Know? So I said, no, there's no way I'm going to do this. I'm going to push through it. So little did I know that my ex-wife at the time, well, my wife at the time, ex-wife now, was able to get some cannabis butter and make some edibles and breads, and that kind of, without me even knowing.
Okay, so against your knowledge.
Against my knowledge.
Wow.
Against my will at the time.
Okay.
That kind of pushed me through my chemotherapies. I noticed.
If you could just pull the mic just a little bit closer. Keep it about a fist away, it'll be good to go. You'll hear yourself, it'll change.
Is that better?
Better, yeah. You hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So it was. I noticed a difference immediately after I started consuming the breads and the sweets. Wasn't running marathons, but I was able to get up, go to the bathroom,
Feeling better.
walk around. It was making it less challenging when I was going through chemo.
Okay.
So got better. Then my wife decides to throw the bombshell on me, saying, "Hey, I got something to tell you. I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway." So this is what I was doing. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. And that kind of opened my eyes. That was 2002.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 23 years ago.
Wow.
And just started researching. I'm a type of guy that likes to research and read things. And so I started researching it. And there is such thing, there is this SB 420, Prop 215. And so bought my first shop with a friend, refinanced this house, got some money, bought our first house in Woodland Hills, or the first shop in Woodland Hills. And that turned into 2, and then 4, and then 5 stores, and then grow. And then I ended up in Van Nuys with Van Nuys Organics. And then...
so this is all before Cookies?
This is way before Cookies.
Wow, okay.
This is 2001, 2002, 2005, shutdown opening. Everybody was under a hardship exception, those things.
Yeah.
So I ended up in Eagle Rock with House of Kush, very successful. Got to meet a lot of people. When I was in Van Nuys Organics, these 2 Armenian guys came in. It was Serge and Aram.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, Serge Cannabis and Gas No
Gas
Breaks.
No Breaks, yep.
So they came down to sell me some weed, and they're like, "Oh, you're Armenian?" "Yeah, I'm Armenian." "Oh." So they introduced me to my general manager. So we just started working together.
Okay.
So then I met Mike. Then I had a nursery. I was selling them clones. I was buying moms from them, to be able to have all the patients come in and do their own clippings.
Okay.
So we've done it all.
Beautiful.
So then fast forward, to 2016, we knew an attorney named Steve LaBelle. He said, "Hey, I've known him for a long time." He said, "Not going to tell you why, where. Just find a city that will allow you to have licensed cannabis in their jurisdiction, and that's all I can tell you." Mm-hmm. So, come to find out, he was one of the attorneys that Governor Brown had hired to write the Proposition 64.
Okay.
So we got ready. We ended up in Maywood. That's another whole 2-hour story, which we'll get into sometime later. So then we decided, we sat down with Serge and Mike. We're like, hey, here we are. Let's go out there and get some money. Got some partners. And we built this facility with a license and no brand.
Okay.
Our brand was going to be called Hybrid, I believe, right? Yeah, Hybrid was our brand.
Okay.
We wouldn't have lasted 6 months, truth be told.
Yeah.
So, and then we're building it. We got our occupancy certificate. We're about to open the doors. We get a text message, mandatory meeting Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. at Maywood. Burner's coming. Who's Burner?
I was about to say, did you know who that was at the moment?
I live in Santa Clarita. I'm an hour and a half away. I have to be up at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, get here at 7. No, mandatory, everybody's got to be here. So we all showed up. And literally within an hour of talking to Burner, we shook hands in that corner where the edibles are, and we struck a deal. This would be the first Cookies store. It was the first licensed micro business in Los Angeles County.
Wow.
When we first opened our doors in January 16 of 2018.
That's a beautiful thing.
So if you just Google Cookies Maywood grand opening, you'll see all the news channels, news media was here doing their morning shows. We had no product.
Really?
If you look at the pictures, they're just stickers on the shelves.
That's funny.
So Bernard said, look, I'm dropping my album in 12 days. In order for this deal to happen, you guys have to be open in 12 days. So we served 1,600 people that day, that opening day with no product. Yeah, our system kept failing. We come from the traditional world, right? So paper receipts, paper books.
Yep.
So we were just so fast at it. We're able to go back to keeping track on the paper.
How it worked.
And then the computers would come back on, so we go back to
update
the sales system. So so that was 7 years ago.
Wow.
We've been here 7 years. And that's the short story of the short version of the long story.
Absolutely.
So and here we are now.
That's pretty damn cool. And I'm sure people are curious, like, how does it work being your guys' store, but now you're partnered with Cookies? Like, so how much is a partnership? How does that work?
So Cookies has a big influence since this is the flagship store. So they give us pretty much anything that we need.
Okay.
Any kind of a support that we need from corporate. We're very, very close to Burner. We're close with all the executives. And they see our value. They see how hard we work. Being retail, everybody knows retail is done across the board. But yet, we were sitting in a 25,000 square foot building. Rent is high. Electricity bill is $60,000 in Edison. And here we are. As slow as it is, we're able to keep our doors open. We're able to pay all our bills on time and still be operating and just be above water. And all that comes because of our cultivation that we have. We're set up in such a unique form that we always lean on cultivation to bail us out.
Yeah.
This entire building, everything in it, relies on one source, which is our cultivation. That's where tuna comes in.
Speaking of cultivation,
everything.
That's what tuna comes in. So it's no longer being able to produce weed and sell it cheap.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So a lot of people aren't renewing their licenses. A lot of people are kind of billing out and doing other things.
Absolutely.
Uber, whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're seeing that shift in the market. So to be able to be successful, you have to be able to grow exclusive cannabis consistently.
Absolutely.
Not just hit one home run and then go stale.
You got
for
whack
3,
weed
4,
now.
right?
Yeah.
So we're set up here beautifully. We have 8 rooms in full rotation. Every 7 days we have a room coming down. Every 7 days we have a room drying. Every 7 days we have a room going out.
Beautiful.
So it just literally and Mike Tuna is achieving this with with minimum manpower.
Yeah.
If I tell you, I'll have them explain
Absolutely.
what is workforce.
Short
is,
crew, but they're strong.
Yeah,
you know?
but these guys have been with us for a long time. Shout out to all the Cookies Maywood cultivation and post production and retail team. We used to have 108 employees in this facility. Here.
Wow.
We're down to 32.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's.
So you're running a tight ship.
Quarter.
Yeah.
That means everybody is doing the job of 3 other people.
Okay.
Right? So, but we've come to a point that everybody knows if I'm going right, you know exactly why I'm going right. If I pick something up, you're not asking me why did I pick it up. You already know what that it's for.
Absolutely.
So it's just a well-tuned machine, and we just have to make these cuts in order for us to be able to survive and live to see another day.
Absolutely. So. Well, now speaking of the cultivation side, you want to get into a little bit of how you keep the operation going with the cultivation.
Yeah, I mean, for the cultivation, we got to be always, on point at all times. Just like you said, you got to be consistent, bringing in this good quality product that's available all the time. The reason we harvest every week is we want to keep our product fresh at all times as well. When you walk into a retail shop, you see some products that are like 6 months old, 8 months old.
Yeah.
No matter how good of a deal it is, you grab it and you go home. And
you don't want to see that.
It's not smoking right. Like you just, dumped your money on something that doesn't smoke. So we're always trying to keep everything rotating on the shelves, trying to have nothing over like 4 weeks old, 6 weeks old maximum. So we're not, we're just trying to bring our best game by always putting in work on hunting seeds, being creative by crossing them. Same thing with our team, being creative in the retail place or in the distro where we're coming up with all these new strains and new products that we can kind of do it in-house.
Beautiful.
We're pretty much, one-stop shop to try to run our, do whatever we need in this, under this roof.
Absolutely. And what got you into cultivation of it? Like, have you always been into the growing of the plants?
So, in the beginning, before Cookies, same, I've grown up in Lebanon. I'm Armenian. I've came here when I was 15, and then
God bless.
When I was 15, I was into the car industry. I used to customize cars. As that industry was changing a little bit, I was a hobbyist in the cannabis, and some of my friends actually opened up a pre-ICO shop back then.
Okay.
And they needed some help to kind of get some products in and stuff, and that's where I came in and started doing some drives and all that up north. And same, I met Serge and Autumn, Serge Cannabis and Gazno Breaks back then, and we started doing some work together. We opened up some gray market shops. Met Edwin back then in Van Nuys and
Van Nuys Organics.
Van Nuys Organics.
I named that store.
Beautiful.
That's definitely an OG spot right there. Anyway, from there we went off we moved on to San Diego. We opened up a second shop over there, which was San Diego Organic.
Okay.
And then Silmar.
And then, Silver was the first one, which Autumn and Serge owned that one. But the other one in San Diego, actually, we started doing the grow over there.
Okay. So that's when you got into the cultivation side.
Yeah, that's when I first got into the cultivation, and we started seeing the magic of it, like how clones root, how fast they grow, how you can multiply them, and you could do all these cool things with them. They change color, they start budding. And
was there any challenges like off the rip that you hit like, oh no, this is not going to be good, or everything was just kind of a learning experience?
Honestly, our first grow was super, super good. We grew this bubba back then. It was super bubba, and it turned purple at the end. And we kind of did like 2 harvests. We ended up like cropping the top, and the bottoms weren't all done up yet.
Yeah.
So we ended up letting the bottoms like get
grow more.
Grow a little more and stuff. And then we ended up chopping it up. We were just kind of playing with it.
Hey.
But either way, it was so good. It tasted so good because we were just came out of our backyard.
Fresh.
It was super
it didn't
fresh.
matter. Packs of 4,000 a pound. So
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Even more back then.
You couldn't go wrong.
It's true.
You couldn't go wrong.
Yeah, you
true.
couldn't go wrong. It was a good learning time zone where even if you messed up, you didn't take such a bigger hit. But either way, it was our first crop was amazing. We ended up kind of growing the same product again for the second time. We had challenges over there by people breaking in. We were a gray zone shop, so cops came in like at 2 a.m. in the morning and stuff. You know, some dude walked in like not wanting to look at our crop. He's like, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this. You know? But again, anyway, we had some challenges out there with the city as well.
Okay.
But technically, this was in the Super Bowl days, like almost 20 years ago. So,
wow.
You know, I back then was a little different ball game than now.
Definitely.
We ended up packing all our shit away from San Diego and like taking it out in the truck like in one day when the city wanted to walk in.
Yep. Wow. Okay. And then, so you're cultivating for a while. When did you guys cross paths?
It was back around the same time, around 2009, 2010.
Okay. Yeah. So I met him somewhere around 2007, 8, whenever you had the
nursery?
The San Diego. No, whenever you had the Van Nuys Organic.
Yep.
But we started becoming more closer at the end where I was growing in Palmdale, and then he had I believe, was it the House of Kush that I used to bring in moms to?
Van Nuys, yeah.
Yeah, I used to grab my dad's van and put my old moms in there, and then, you know, when it was time to recycle, I used to take it to his shop, and there was this thing where they had to cut clones for each patient, so they're growing for them and stuff, so I had to like supply moms for that, so I used to put the stuff the moms in, show up with a van, and drop them off real quick.
So I heard back in those days that, now that you did just mention that was the thing. You could get your patient list, was you build your patient list.
Yeah, correct.
Then you can grow for your patients.
Collective, right? So everybody had to come in, so they would cut a clone under camera, and then he would document it, and then that clone will be given to us, the cultivators, to grow for our community. For our group.
So the more patients you have, the more you can grow.
Right.
Interesting.
Right. So then it was just this gray area, right? Nobody knew what we were doing right or wrong. There's these attorneys telling you to go this way, and some telling you to go that way. So that was the right thing. That seemed to be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It came to a point that the moms were so frail, and there's nothing left of them. So we're cutting a single leaf, and then we're throwing it in clone gel, and then
it would grow.
No.
Oh, okay.
none of that grew. It was just the process that we had to go through to stay legal, right?
Interesting.
So I remember those days. Like they used to terrorize those moms, and you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it just we did whatever we had to do just to keep the doors open and be above.
Interesting. So that kind of reminds me of what's going on right now with the hemp. You know, there is that gray area. Yep. So interesting to see.
Yeah, right.
Interesting to see.
But every jurisdiction has their own rules and regulations, and it just trying to.
We just did a story on North Carolina yesterday where they're literally selling joints and weed in all retailers, like a smoke shop. You go in, you buy a joint, and then they're going down the block and getting stopped by cops for the same joint that they just legally bought.
Yeah.
Because it's the THC-A or whatever.
Right, the percentages, That's a constant battle.
Crazy.
What do they do? Grab the joints out of their hands and put a test on it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it works down there, but that's what they're saying is like a big issue, even with people visiting, because they're such like, it's openly out there to buy, but then they can't smoke it, so they're like, what's going on here?
Kind of same thing in Europe, in Barcelona and stuff. And when we go out there, you're able to go in there and smoke your weed in the clubs, but as soon as you're out there, the cops are like hassling you for it. It's like, you can't do that out there, especially as a tourist.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Speaking of Europe, if I may expand on that.
Absolutely.
We have built a cultivation facility in Thailand.
Okay, wow.
2 years ago. Yeah, exactly like Maywood is, the cultivation.
Really?
Very close floor plan, 4 rooms instead of 8, but bigger rooms. And we just, as of last week, we successfully had our first export in Australia. And we have all our export documents, and we're going into Germany and UK next. So
congratulations! That's huge.
So all your listeners, if you're ever in Barcelona or out in Germany, UK,
go
Australia,
check them out.
Yeah, if you see any Cookies IP Genetics, that's
us.
Those are the Maywood boys.
Beautiful.
Growing it out there in Thailand and legally exporting it into these European markets.
So that's pretty cool too. I'm sure they've never seen anything like this in Thailand.
No. So Cookies has a store, a flagship store in Thailand.
Okay.
Thailand's kind of different. People there are used to the Thai sticks, the outdoor stuff.
I hear it's a very accepting culture though for the cannabis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It was. Then it wasn't. Now it kind of is. So it's difficult to navigate. You
Yeah.
know, it's a touristy area, so 3 months out of the year it's good weather when you have the tourists, and the other 9 months it's literally it's
Not
just
so great.
locals.
Yeah.
So you can't really force top shelf, $50 8 quality cannabis to locals.
Of course.
They're used to smoking sticks and seeds.
Yeah.
So exporting was the only play that we had, and interestingly, so we set up the shop with the export in mind immediately.
Okay.
It wasn't like we said, look, we're gonna grow for cookies. We got permission. We're gonna grow for cookies in Thailand to export in Europe, and that's exactly what we did.
Beautiful.
So our export certificates came within. We're one of the first ones in Thailand to be able to get our export certificates, and we're the only cookies cultivation in Europe. And
wow, that's huge.
Yeah, in Thailand. Yeah,
that's really big. See, now you guys are smart because obviously I feel like we're dragging our feet over here in America with the laws and legalization. So now you guys are heading to Europe and Germany and Thailand. I think that's very smart.
Right.
Very, very
We're
smart.
trying to keep it small as possible, and because we're very much hands-on. We're not that group. There's a lot of, and there's 100 ways to skin a cat, right? There's groups out there that they take their cultivation facility and add 1,000 lights, 2,000 lights, 4,000 lights, and they just grow these massive amount. It's great. It works for them. It just, for us, we have such unique genetics. Our CLM mode that we have here, it took us 4 years to create.
Wow.
So these are strains that we have that are just world-renowned strains.
Absolutely.
That everybody wants it. Everybody smokes it. You can have it here in Maywood. You can have it in Thailand. Now you can have it in Germany, Australia, and UK.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's pretty crazy, right? I don't think no other brand is able to deliver that legally.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to have it in pharmacies, available to legal patients, same exact genetics as you have here in 5 different countries.
That's true.
So
so the flower obviously is a big thing out there. How about the rosin and the hash? Is that a big thing overseas?
It's definitely a big thing. It's not fully legal yet, but there's little clause in there. But overall, when it comes down to rosin or cannabis itself, the culture out there has been super accepting because it is such a comfortable country to be hanging out, smoking your joint at the beach or even at a restaurant that they allow you to smoke. So it's kind of hard to find somewhere where you can go vacay and at the same time be comfortable, not be hassled by the locals or the police enforcement or anybody. And overall, like a pretty cool place.
Dope. I asked that question because I follow this one weed YouTuber who's been going all over Europe and all over. He was in Egypt at a hash event, like with his Puffco. I'm like, what's going on? But I bring that up also because I hear that you are heavy into the rosin game. You want to just talk a little bit about how you got into it and what your product's like?
So rosin is all about the terps, right? Like you get a lot of terps in there. At the same time, you get a really good high out of it by smoking a pretty small amount of it.
Okay.
So hash has been always our thing from back in the day, especially when we used to blow in like glass or we used to make just regular finger hash or whatever hash used to come around. We used to try to make worms with it inside the joints, try to put some on top of the bowl. But as we got a little more deeper into the cannabis industry, started changing into a cleaner smoke. So rosin represents that more of like a cleaner smoke that's more terpy, at the same time gets you high as fuck, to a different level. So that's what kind of turned me on more towards rosin, kind of trying to find flavors, trying to find different ways of kind of extracting different phenos, different strains where they come out different colors, they burn differently, they make you feel different ways. So
definitely,
the Tuna Mills kind of was born where I was just trying to make some personal hash for me.
Yeah, some good stuff.
And some real good stuff.
Yeah.
And
it's
from
all
there,
personal stash quality.
Yep, absolutely.
If Tuna approves it, trust me, it has to be top shelf.
Hey, if that's not the best advertisement, I don't know what is.
So for now, we've kind of created this brand to share with the public, Tuna Melts, and we've dropped in approximately 8-9 strains underneath it.
12 total, yeah.
Wow.
Total
It's in
strains.
full rotation.
Beautiful.
And,
Grown here, all indoor quality in our own flower rooms. We always dedicate 1 or 2 lights, and we just wash that entire row.
All for just concentrates.
Only for rosin.
Beautiful.
And always trying to hunt for new strains, new genetics. So there's a few should be coming up. As of now, we're hunting like 3-4 more strains that should be adding up into our rotation very soon.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, you guys definitely have a hell of an operation here when it comes to the rosin and just the weed side of everything. Do you guys have any events that you do to promote stuff like this or just participate in? Cannabis, I know, is a big one.
Yeah, we do events. We sponsor a bunch of events. We have one coming
Yeah,
up
we are involved in a lot of different events. One of them is Masters of Rosin, super good event, hard, challenging event. It's not easy to win the first place, second place over there. So awesome event to be at.
How does that work? Like, how does that event work?
That event, pretty much you bring in your rosin. You end up kind of entering your rosin. From there, it gets given to 10 different judges, and they have approximately 5-6 days, 4 or 5 days maybe to smoke. And each one of them give their grading opinion, how it tastes, how it smokes, what kind of high it gets you, and stuff like that. And from there, on the last day, they end up the day before the last day, they end up doing a dinner, kind of sharing all the inputs on it.
Okay.
And then next day gets kind of the ceremony for the awards, and gets kind of the best rosin wins.
Pretty damn cool.
So on that note, Masters of Rosin is all the greatest hash makers from all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah, attracts
France.
in worldwide. hash
You're
makers.
competing
Beautiful.
with someone that's growing one plant in his apartment in France, that all his attention is on that one plant.
Yeah.
Right? That's your competition.
That's
your
crazy.
mindset. It's one of the hardest competitions to actually, and one of the most prestige competitions to actually being able to have an entry and actually placing.
Wow.
So yeah, we worked on it for months and months, but we brought it here in Los Angeles. Was the first time. It was a success. We did it here. That was in November.
Yeah, we did it over here for the first time in LA, right here at Maywood. And it was definitely a successful event. We ended up having worldwide hash makers show up.
That's so cool.
Have good food, bring down some good terps, and everybody was a good, happy camper.
Beautiful.
And we support a lot of different events as well, like Eagle Clash. We've been part of Eagle Clash for a very long time. We've actually won a couple times. We've entered in there multiple different times and won 2 times, I believe. Other than that, Eagle Clash gets kind of, in their judging system is a little bit different.
Okay.
Like you'll see this long table that looks like the king's castle, and everybody brings their jars in, and there's about 20, 30 different heavy lungs, like heavy hash heads, and they'll be just grabbing these jars and going down on
That's pretty cool.
smoking them and kind of rating each one of them. Many different ones. Hash Angelus, Full Moon Sesh. We've been part of the Olympics before.
The Olympics, yeah.
the
That's coming up
Olympics,
March 1st.
That's,
We'll be there.
That's coming up this week sometime. So a couple other ones, but yeah, we're always part of all these events that we're showing up and either judging or trying to enter in some way.
That's pretty damn cool.
Everybody asks us, why aren't you have such amazing hash, why don't you enter in all these competitions? The problem is that Mr. Tuna here is everybody wants him to be a judge.
Yeah.
So but when you're a judge, that
can't
disqualifies you from competition.
Of
right?
course.
So again, it's all about the culture, right? So he's always taken, the priority of being a judge and actually given somebody an opportunity to give his true opinion
Absolutely.
rather than entering something in the competition. So that's what restricts us from entering. So
Hey.
I keep telling them, let me enter, but everybody knows.
Yeah.
You're disqualified.
He's got to
automatically.
know his own. So that's,
Sounds like a great problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Because now they know you're the guy that can certify it. So if you make it, you're good to go.
Exactly.
It's always to be out there, smelling everybody's jars, their good work. I can't believe, I can't imagine how hard people work on their a small crop to try to get those terps out there, try to make it all unique and, so beautiful. It's a lot of work to try to get it to that end product. I know a lot of people walk in here in the retail shop, they look ready product, nice packaging, this, that, but at the end of the day, what's inside is what matters, and it's really hard to, it takes a lot of work to bring in that badass product.
That's for damn sure.
Entering to these events because, anywhere you go nowadays, it's the competition's out there. Even Thailand, 2 years ago we used to go. Maybe the product wasn't all out there. Now I was there about 2 weeks ago, and the product's out there, the rosin's up there, so people are showing some competition everywhere.
Beautiful. See, and I love to see that, especially in this industry, because I come from music. So when I see people that love it, you really got to love it to be in it, or else you're gonna have a shit product. So to see all these people working hard, like you said, like it's so cool. Like that love went into the growing of it and the extraction of it, and those people care about every step. That some people it might just be a business thing. Oh, I don't care so much. So those people it shows, Yeah. So it's interesting to see. But shit, here you guys have created. To me, this is like standard. You come, you get cookies. You're not gonna walk out of here with anything boof. It's gonna be all top of the line shit. But we all know Burner is the face of Cookies. How heavily involved is he in your like day to day? Like, so you guys open up every day? Is he like?
Well, I texted him yesterday. I talked to him about this new strain we're growing indoor blueberry caviar, and anything we need from him, we pretty much call him, text him real quick, and try to game plan for the next zone, for the next drop. Try to do some international moves where what kind of strains we want and where to go, but mostly is to kind of create these new strains and stuff. I mean, every few months over here we're trying to pop out some type of new genetics and stuff, and we want good lungs to be smoking and get it out there so we get the feedback and see what's good. So having Burner on our side, trying to test things for us and bring it to us, it brings in a lot to our table.
Definitely. I say he's a good asset to have at your right side.
Everything on our shelves, any IP that's going out before it gets production, Burner has to approve it.
Beautiful.
We've had some really, really, really good weed pass in front of them, and it just didn't make the cut.
Wow.
So move on to the next. So as Mike mentioned, the next one coming down the pipe is our new blueberry caviar. Phenomenal smoke, just something that's so unique. It's
Beautiful.
Out there, and then blackberry to follow. Just to name
By the way, that's from Bridgeline Genetics, from Jason. That's
okay.
something that they gave us to kind of grow out there and put it out there, which is a blueberry caviar. It's such a nice smoke. It's
smell like a jar of blueberries.
As soon as you open it, it smacks you with it.
Literally, exactly like that.
I love that.
So we're right in the middle of every 6, 8, 12 months we try to introduce a new strain. You know how difficult that is. So
okay.
So we have some new strains coming down. We have the new Gelato 33 Skittles cross.
Okay.
Coming down.
That's gotta be a good one.
Yeah, the crumpets. We have the blueberry, blackberry caviar. So as we introduce new strains, we try to kind of put to bed some of the older ones that we've had. So.
Do you keep any of the older ones around?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I was about to say, that's smart.
Yeah, those guys, a lot of them, especially like the legendary ones, stay behind. We can make new crosses with them. Maybe 2 years down the line, we can kind of miss them so much that we want them back.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with tissue culture being around and stuff, it's easier to keep your genetics tight.
Beautiful. So you're on more of the cultivation side. You're on more of the sales side, right?
Sales, janitor,
okay,
driver, whatever. We
whatever
do it all.
The shop needs.
We do it all. So we do it all. Yeah.
So what does the day in your life look like? And then I want to know what a day in your life looks like as well.
Day in my life starts like usually. Cell phone starts texting at like middle of the night. Thailand needs and cultivation needs out there. So I'll wake up to certain amount of text messages that I'll reply to and stuff, which is like 6 a.m. in the morning. At somewhere between 6 to 8 o'clock, there'll be a good morning text between OG and I. There'll be to make sure, the homie's alive. We're ticking,
Exactly. That's my retirement plan here. I just want to make sure he's alive. He's good.
And then the day starts from there. Take kids to school and stuff. And then, obviously, Maywood takes over here at 7 a.m. in the morning. So
Oh, wow.
we're on top of it, getting hold of all the guys, make sure the crew's ticking. Again, shout out to the crew always for holding it tight. Nobody can keep up with us. No lazy people, nobody that can wake up. We're out here 7 a.m. in the morning, so you got to be here at 6:30 ticking.
And they say weed makes you lazy, huh?
I don't know. You can come into my world.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
We're taking like 18 hours a day.
Absolutely.
So, our day starts early morning like that, get the kids to school, and then be down here in the morning and start the day off with visiting the grow. The grow is the most important for me. Just kind of do the quick walkthrough, make sure everything is right, the plants are happy, if there's anything to be ordered and stuff, and then meetings start. So meeting times is not my favorite things, but it's kind of necessary. So a few meetings comes in throughout the days. Some of them super long. It could be 3-4 hours.
Just got out of one right before this podcast.
Yeah, just like that. That was a surprise one that was before us right now, and then there's one coming up at 1, and then one at 3:30, I think. So it's kind of lined up to kind of make sure everything is right. To make sure everything is good with the shop. Like try to get some. Maybe new opportunities for our Thailand shop to distribute and stuff like that. So usually that's how the day goes on. And then at the end of the day, we go through the lovely traffic of LA that has to offer from here.
Beautiful.
Going down to Valley, or he goes up to the Antelope Valley and stuff.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
And from there, our Thailand kicks in again.
Oh man!
Around 5,
so it just never stops, huh? It's a never-ending day.
Yeah, 5, 6 o'clock. I get to go talk to the main grower, the main manager out there that kind of helps me keep the facility intact. And then if we have some Thailand meetings as well, we might take that at 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And then the exciting part comes in around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock sometimes, because time is off so much in Thailand and stuff, so we can't get everybody to do late meetings or early meetings over there. So he might be on some meetings at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I try to stay out of those a lot of times as much as I can. But, kind of to keep that going, that's pretty much overall of what the day is.
Wow. To think, like, now that you guys do have the Thailand operation, wow, that just extends your day.
14-hour difference.
That's crazy, yeah.
Day here, night there, day here. So.
Wow.
Well, about a year ago, rewind back about a year and a half, we used to have the Fiore project as well.
Okay.
And that was another 1,000 lights pretty much that we had to control. Again, more lights, more problems, they say, right?
It's true.
So, they were... it was a fun project, but it was definitely challenging.
Definitely.
But,
we'll talk about that in a second, but I just want to get into your day by day a little bit.
Yeah, so I oversee pretty much every department here, and anybody needs any help, any assistance. So I get my day started. I live in Santa Clarita, so we have a partner in Adelanto.
Okay.
Nature Refined 17K.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Yep.
All the boys out there. So I normally start, I take the back way, go there, visit them if I need to, and then I come make my way down here and I get started, checking with all the departments, see if anybody needs anything, all the meetings that come up with corporate, all the meetings that come up with international partnerships and relationships, our Thailand operations and our partners there, Phil and Kyle. It's nonstop. The second you wake up, between text messages, phone calls, I have to charge my phone twice on any given day.
Okay.
On a regular day.
Wow.
Right? And this is, it's nonstop.
Yeah.
Just go. And it's something that we sign up for. We learn early on to only take on what we can chew.
Yeah.
So as Mike mentioned earlier, we slightly overstepped our boundaries and we kind of took in a little more than we could, and we learned the hard way. So we decided to kind of come back. Everybody's asking, oh my God, there's this other opportunity here. There's this other grow opportunity there. There's 5,000 lights here. We like to stay small. Yeah. Consistent.
Quality control.
Right? Quality control is consistent. We have a beautiful store. We have a beautiful micro business here. We have our Thailand operation. And our objective isn't to make it rich short term.
Yeah.
Our objective is to make long-term relationships and partnerships, and for the longevity of it. We've been doing this probably one of the longest groups that ever still around.
Absolutely.
Right? We didn't change the dollar signs, when everybody was out there in selling and buying Lamborghinis. You know, I'm still driving my Impala, and he was still driving his little, what was it? Subaru.
Okay.
No, before the Subaru, the Nissan.
Oh yeah,
Versa.
the Nissan Versa.
The Versa.
We forget.
So yeah, so it's always been that love and passion for the industry and for the plant.
Beautiful.
Right? We figure the money will come. You know, we're comfortable where we are, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when the curtain falls, you know, we'll see where we end up.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like that's where the most success comes. If you just come in chasing the dollars, good luck.
It's short
you know?
term. Short term. We've seen so many come and go.
Exactly.
And you know, it's just we're still here.
Yeah.
As
It's
bad as
almost
the
a
industry
decade
is.
under this roof right here.
Yeah.
God bless. And you wouldn't even tell the store looks brand new.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. We went through a huge
Only if these
renovation.
walls can talk.
Only if these walls could talk.
This is true. This is very true.
We went through a major hardship, internal, external. We spent $800,000 in renovating the store right before the bottom fell. Like only if we had delayed it for a month. You know?
Yeah.
So we decided to go. We went, and then just the business just kind of tanked. So here we are. You know, this big. Every vendor got paid full vendor.
God bless.
Yeah, full payments. And it's just sometimes things happen to make you stronger, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that was one of the big challenges. We could have called it quits. Many of our old partners decided to kind of move on and to each his own, and they did. And Mike and I sat down and said, "Look, this is our chance. We had a good run. We shut the doors. We call it quits, or we
Buckle
pull
up.
our sleeves up." Yeah, and
Absolutely.
we just pushed through, and we both unanimously, without a hesitation, said, "Let's take it to the finish. Let's finish what we started." And
God bless.
that's what makes us so. We argue, we fight, we disagree. We challenge each other, or that's what makes us so great. At the end of the day, we respect each other. End of the day, we know what the common denominator is to get to the finish line.
Absolutely.
So
I respect it. And I'm sure that just shows, you know, you're in it for the long haul.
Yep.
It's not, things get hard, you could run away, but
Yep,
things got hard and you
exactly.
guys decided to step
Things
up.
are gonna get hard anywhere you go. It's just the fact where you gotta just kind of, if it's a fun environment, it's, you know, this is what I love doing personally. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I come in here, I play in the field, and I believe challenges are gonna get thrown at you anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Whatever environment you're.
Whatever you
whether
decide to do.
change states, you change locations, you know, there's always challenges. It's not gonna change, so I might as well just look through it, you know,
Face the
and
challenge.
face the challenge, and then, you know, take on the day.
Absolutely. I respect it. Congrats to you guys, because you really have built legendary things here. So congrats
Strong
to that.
foundation. That's the key.
And that's what I keep
Any
telling them,
business.
even with this podcast. If we don't build this foundation, we don't have anything. So that's what we're doing right now too. We're just building our foundation, and it's inspiring to see people who have already built their foundation. So we respect you guys for sure.
Respect, absolutely. Thank you.
But now, if you do want to talk a little bit about Fiore, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I'll let you start with it. You're way
Man,
better. on
Fiore
it.
was just a concept. Search Cannabis, Big Tuna and I said, "Hey, let's try to do something that we can call it our own." So we came out with the concept Fiore, which is means flower in Italian.
Okay.
And we purchased a large facility, a building, 30,000 square foot building. We built an 18,000 square foot mezzanine. We built
Wow.
a 1,000 light operation, and we used Nature Refined as a partner to be able to go through a seed hunt. So our initial coming out the gate was we started a brand with about 15,000 seed popped. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
It was,
that was challenging.
I remember at Nature's facility at their lab, we're sitting around the table just passing bags around. Is this good? We're taking notes with all the partners and
What an
growers.
experience that must have been.
It was amazing.
Just smoking all of it.
Yeah.
It was an amazing opportunity that we got to do it. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
it's a dream. Would I do it again? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, this is back in the days when, I mean, Nature Refined, the boys dedicated a 1,200 light facility just on a seed hunt.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you wouldn't last one run nowadays with
No
that,
shot.
with the prices, right?
No way.
Everything kind of worked out together, and we just launched the brand. We did really well. We bought a jet. We painted it Fiore colors. That thing
Wow.
flew all over the country.
That's
everywhere
dope.
we went. all the controllers were asking, "Hey, what is Fiore?" And I would click the mic and, "Hey, it's a cannabis brand."
Did you ever drive the plane?
Oh yeah, I was a pilot.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had a co-pilot.
I even drove the plane.
Did you?
Mike-
Sick.
Mike, yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
get in on it.
Hell yeah, why not?
So, yeah, it was just a little more than what we could handle at the time.
Yeah.
We always made this place our priority, and we said that from the beginning. Doesn't matter what we do, this is home base.
Absolutely.
Cookies is where we started, and cookies where we have to concentrate on. So we kind of neglected the Fiore aspect of it, right? So then we had partners, we had some really, really big commitments that we just couldn't meet.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, we had a choice. Keep cookies where our home base is, or keep Fiore is what doesn't really have that strong of a foundation. Not that we didn't try, it was just too big.
Too much to handle.
And we grew too fast.
You live and you learn.
Right. So
you know?
the foundation wasn't stable. So it doesn't matter how big we took that brand, it wouldn't have lasted anyway.
Yeah.
So we decided to come back to home base and gave Fiore pretty much up to our partners. Still running. It's
Beautiful.
420 Properties out Adelanto. We still talk with them.
Wow.
They're successful.
Good.
Which is great, amazing. I'm so happy for them. We helped them with all the transition. That took a long time.
Beautiful.
So every step of the way, we were just very cordial. And we came back home, and this is our home.
Beautiful.
It's been for almost 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
God
actually,
bless.
it's been for 9 years. We started this project in 2016.
Okay.
So 2017 we built out, and 2016 November Proposition 64 passed. January 16 of 2017 we opened our doors.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's quite a story.
we're ready when opportunity met preparation, right?
Beautiful.
That's what luck is, the definition
Exactly. There's no such thing as luck.
of luck. Right, exactly. So
Very cool.
we're fortunate, very fortunate.
Beautiful. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Adelanto was a beautiful build that we did
Oh, yeah.
after kind of building out all these. When we first built Maywood, it kind of looked large for us. It was like, wow, we're gonna build this 300 light facility and stuff. But by the time we got to build a couple other ones before Fiore, by the time we got to Fiore, this facility was so beautiful where it was just decked out with all types of toys in there for a grower to
It's a dream.
play with. Yeah,
Yeah.
And, definitely.
If you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just someone coming off. It was all computerized,
Yeah.
state of the art,
Yep,
sensors.
yep. The ACs in there was phenomenal. Just
Beautiful.
being out there in the high desert,
No place like it. That's for damn
definitely
sure.
not. But either way, our goal wasn't to become this super commercial production where we're producing thousands of grams every time,
Yeah.
every month. So it was more of like to be unique. After running all these large operations, Maywood's like a garage grow for me. It's like a small,
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I play in this field right here.
Beautiful.
Like, however, I feel like.
And that's a beautiful
And
thing.
what actually OG has been very kind of okay with me, always supporting me to be able to do all that as well. Because a lot of times when you have partners that are just breathing on your neck and it's like waiting for you to fail or do something wrong, it's you don't get to practice
Exactly.
the way you
Freely.
like to. Because for somebody to make a song, to make a new product or something, they gotta fail like so many times to get out there. So it's just a lot easier to play in a field that you're not under like microscope and shit. Like
Absolutely.
watching.
I agree. I would love to sit here and talk with you guys all day, but it does seem like we're going to hit the time period. So is there anyone else you guys want to shout out before we do wrap this up?
Yeah.
And also just give an idea of like what the next 5 years looks like.
So I'll go first. Everybody in our team, at Maywood team, the guys in the cultivation room, the post-production team, the managers that open and close the stores 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., everyone on the corporate side for their support. We talked about our Nature Refined partners, Donnie and Dylan. Those guys are just beasts, man. Those guys
Animals.
just keep producing nonstop with the brothers out there. Jerry, Harry, all those guys.
Shout out to them.
Shout
Yep.
out to them. And in the next 5 years, honestly, we don't look at it as a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan. We suit up and show up every single day.
Okay.
And we do the best we can in the 10, 12, 14 hours that we're here. And we just wake up in the morning and take it to the chin again. So our objective is whatever it is, whether the Cookies goes public and takes us along with us, or whether it's our AdNet team, our partners in AdNet, Sabas and them, they have some big things cooking in the background. So we're the group that everybody wants to partner up with, right? Yeah. We're the group that everybody trusts. We're the group that everybody, not because of our pretty eyes, it's our track record.
Yeah, your business.
It's the way we conduct business. Yeah. It's the way we conduct ourselves. We're honest people. We're hardworking people. We take challenges face up. We don't hide from the truth. So it's we just show up every day, and if it's 5 years from now or 3 years from now, or I don't know about 10 years. I'm 50, almost 50. Mike has 10 more years to go, but whatever that looks like, whatever that narrative is we'll be here to face it.
Beautiful.
So,
I love it.
We love doing what we do every day, man. In and out. It's like Mike said. This is like going to work. This isn't even work for us.
Yeah.
Work for me is being stuck in a cubicle and calling old people and selling them life insurance policies, right? That's work for me.
Yeah.
This is just playing in the playground.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Anyone you want to shout out, wrap up? And is there any new products coming that you want to shout out?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to shout out to my cultivation team out there, always getting up there at 7 a.m. in the morning, getting it down, and helping me do what we have in mind to do to get the good product out there. And then same time, all my managers over here, all the crew, the post-production, everybody in the retail team. Shout out to Burner for always having our back. Shout out to Powers Up, always supporting us. Shout out to all our partners internationally for helping us get our products to out there to all the European markets and other markets as well. And
Phil and Kyle.
Phil and Kyle, yep. And at the same time, shout out to our old partners as well, Surge Cannabis and Gas No Breaks for always, doing the history with us and making all this happen. And other than that, who else we got? New products. New products wise, I'm actually excited to kind of do a little wash on this blueberry caviar. I'm kind of waiting like a couple more weeks to try to see how the trichomes work out, see if we can get a little test run with it.
Okay.
We are working on some Skittles, papayas, mixes that we're gonna bring out under the Tuna Mills. Always trying to get to the next level in that. Shout out to actually our boy Sal as well for always washing for us and getting whatever terps I'm hunting for to get it out here, because for now we don't have any wash station over here.
Okay.
Our license is not intact, so we're working on that. Hopefully OG will give us good news on that next month.
Absolutely.
And our wives and kids, for putting up
with us with all the crazy ventures that we have going 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Any special deals you want the people to know about before we do end the podcast that they can come in and shop?
Man, Maywood, it's always a deal.
Okay.
We're the only, we could truly say we're the only cookies retail store that actually has our own grown flowers on our shelves.
Beautiful.
So it's always a deal. We have happy hour here from 4 to 7. If you guys go on our Instagram, Original Cookies LA, or our website, originalcookiesla.com, we're on Weed Maps. Our full active menus on Weed Maps.
Beautiful.
You guys can check it out. So we have everything. We have edibles, rosin, vape pens, in-house strains, in-house brands, clothing, knowledgeable staff. So just come check it out.
Sounds good. Well, you heard it straight from the source. They got great product, great deals down here, solid people behind it too. So come down and support. We appreciate you guys for giving us your time today and inviting us down here.
Yeah,
so
thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And we hope to have you guys back in a more in-depth conversation.
Absolutely.
But I think this is a good one.
We're here.
Alrighty.
Very good.
This is the Green Rush Nation podcast, and that's all we got for you today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, turn your notifications on, tell your mother, your sister, your brother, everyone. But that's it for today, and we'll see you next time.
Let's go.
I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hit so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on a 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave.